very good evening to you from wherever you're tuned in, watching Afarmers Media. Thank you so much for making time to be with us. I'm your host, Jackie Mo. It's been a while, but thank God you're here, in spite of the food crisis and food prices. My Lord, unga imefika 200 kisha sisi tutaanza kununua unga kwa hoteli, ugali kwa hoteli we'll buy ugali from the hotels at 20 shillings. Just go and cook our hamburgers. But thank you so much for making time to join me on the evening farm drive. And today we want to talk about our food systems and the looming food crisis. There's a looming maize shortage, hike in maize prices. Most of the companies have closed. The milling companies have closed. We'll be looking at more into those details. But joining me in studio, Winfred, and sustainable agribusiness experts. Tell me more, how are you feeling this evening?
Okay, thank you very much, Jackie. I am feeling good, despite
You're feeling good?
Yes, I'm feeling good, despite the anger because of the prices that we have currently that have hiked. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Today we want to talk about food systems. Probably just tell us a brief about what are food systems.
And from my perspective, I can say that food systems, there are ways that government or organizations make to make sure that we have food available, and also we have nutrition security. Yes.
There's a lot that is coming up. We'll also be joined by one of our experts all the way from Eldoret. He's called Samson Tanui on the line. We'll be talking to him shortly. But before that, let's have a brief of some of the stories that are making headlines this evening. We have the African armyworm that is invading farms in Nakuru and Uasin Gishu. There's swarms of African armyworms have invaded farms in parts of Nakuru and Uasin Gishu counties, threatening starvation for humans and livestock. Nakuru County's agriculture officer have indicated the destructive worms have infested over 10,000 hectares of land in Rongai and Subukia sub-counties. While stating that the African armyworm was more destructive than the fall armyworm, the officials state that the county's administrations have dispatched certified spray service providers to help farmers in affected regions in managing and eradicating the pest. You know, when I was reading the brief, I was like, I thought it was armyworm. What's the difference between African armyworm and the fall armyworm?
The fall armyworm and African fall armyworm, they are all the same, but the similarity is just a few. So we can say that they are mostly found in Africa. The species is mostly found in Africa, yes.
We'll be talking more about that and why we are having such invasions. There was a time we had the swarm of locusts.
Yes.
Now it's the African worm. Yeah, we'll be talking more into that and what is causing these invasions. I think it's something to do with climate change and all those.
Yes.
And to another brief is Kenya has blocked dozens of trucks ferrying maize from Tanzania over quality concerns, even as the country grapples with dwindling stocks and skyrocketing prices of the commodity. The maize shortage in the country has seen flour rise from 158 or 160 Kenya shillings to about 200 to 210 Kenya shillings for a 2-kilogram packet within a week, as millers slashed production by half. But at just a minute, what is your take on this crisis that we are facing currently?
Currently, the crisis of maize between Kenya and Tanzania border. Yes, I have also read the story. It is majorly because of the quality, but as we all know, they are international standards, right?
Yes.
And at the border of the Kenya-Tanzania, we have the KEFIS. KEFIS is the body that that is in charge of the quality checks. So I'm sure that they're doing their work. And when it comes to quality checks, maybe we can hear more from maybe a representative and we can know what is happening.
Now what will be done? Companies have slashed their production by half.
It's true.
We don't have enough maize in the country as you're speaking. Who do we run to? Or should we migrate? Kuna kwanga ndio msemo Kenya sihami. Sasa hii itabidi Kenya tumehama.
We cannot migrate. Some of the ways that we can curb that is maybe look for alternatives. You know, Kenyans are more dependent on ugali.
Yes.
Yeah, we can look for, maybe we can start eating cassava more, sweet potatoes, and also look for other alternatives that are grown locally. When we are waiting for the government to sort this, yes.
Kuna mtu alikula mahindi boil na maembe. It's called diversification.
Yes,
we have to move to
yes.
diversification.
Okay.
To another story, it's good news for Miraa traders as Kenya is close to unlocking the Somali Miraa market with an agreement expected to be signed early July. The Agriculture CS Peter Munya revealed on Saturday that discussions between the two countries have entered the home stretch with a deal expected in 2 weeks' time. What's your take on that?
Yes, actually that is a very good deal. You know, Miraa is one of the products that it is one of the agricultural crops that is bringing so much money in Kenya. So yes, for example, 5 ton of Miraa brings about a meter and above, actually. Yes, so that is a very good news in Kenya.
We should be celebrating, right?
Yes,
and congratulations to the Miraa farmers.
Yes.
They've come a long way for such news to be being reported. July 5th will be just some 2 weeks to come. Now, back to our stories. Today we are talking about food systems, and we want to look much deeper into what food systems are and how farmers and what farmers need to do in order to achieve food and nutrition security, as well as having healthy diets while limiting negative environmental impacts and improving socio-economic welfare. Winfred, what do farmers need to know, or how can farmers, what do farmers need to do in order for us to have safety, sustainable food systems that are nutritious and are healthy? And how can they do it? How can they do this by not having a negative impact on our environment?
Yes, that's a very good question. As we all know that Kenya consumes a lot, and most of the agricultural products that Kenya consumes, most of the Kenyans consume, they are from outside the country. So I think it's time for the Kenyan farmers to take action into their hands. I think we should drive more into agricultural practices that are producing more. That is in terms of yields. You find that most farmers take farming mainly for local consumption, but you can make that large scale so that you can contribute to maybe foods in the supermarkets and also in large scale commodities. Yes,
that brings me to the story that we've read about the African armyworm.
Yes,
and when you're talking about the negative environmental impacts, that what are these practices that our farmers are looking at that is causing such kinds of invasions?
Such kind of inventions. Yes, there are so many bad practices in agriculture, and without the right information, trust me, you will farm wrongly. Yes, I also saw an article on the tobacco farmers whereby they were being advised, tobacco growing brings out the acidity in the soil. So when those tobacco farmers grow more of the tobacco without without crop rotation, they are ruining the soil.
Yes.
And that is one of the practices that is damaging to the environment. Yes, and also excessive use of maybe pesticides. So you have to find a way to balance the pesticide, and also it's like integrated pest management actually, so that you can also you can also contribute to the environment sustainably. Yes.
Now, how can we create a food safety system that is environmental friendly? Is it should we practice regenerative agriculture, conventional agriculture? Which kind of agriculture should farmers practice for us to have a good environment, and also get the food that we get is nutritious?
Yes, okay, that is a very good question. Also, I can say that there is no right or wrong practice as long as you have the right information. So the key to agriculture is getting a yield, right? So in the production process, you have to integrate all the methods that are going to make sure that the yield is high. But while integrating all those methods, you also have to make sure that you are not harming. You are part of the ecosystem.
Yes.
You also have to consider other organisms living in the environment, like our soil. You have to consider maybe our bees. Actually, bees contribute to most of the pollination during the production process, especially to the crops. So you have to consider those other organisms in the environment. Yes.
Very interesting. We're having a very interesting discussion here in studio. We are talking about our food systems and what farmers need to do in order for us to get a healthy and nutritious food system that does not have a negative impact on our environment. I want to bring you. We'll be having a webinar this Friday, an upcoming webinar where we'll be talking about regenerative agriculture and as a solution to the ongoing and the looming food crisis. You have to be tuned into that webinar, and let's have your interactions and comments and suggestions on what you think about regenerative agriculture. We'll be taking a short break, but do stay with us, because joining us shortly will be our guest from Eldoret to give us more insights on and his thoughts on what healthy food systems should entail, and what farmers need to do in order for us to have a healthy food system. Keep watching Afarmers Media. I'm Jackie Mo. We'll be right back.
sectors that we have recently gone into is fruit seedlings. This is avocado. These are seeds that we grow. The avocado seedling from seed, and then when it's a little bigger, after 2 months, we'll graft it, and now we'll sell you a grafted avocado. So what you can see here is just avocado seeds, and a bit of them have started shooting. The other plant and seedling that we do is oranges. You can see this orange is about 2.5 years old, and you can see already the fruits are there. And it's a variety that is called Washington Navel. It grows this height. we've put it in a bag because we move around when we go to shows. But otherwise, this is a plant that you can grow in your own garden, and it will give you oranges all year round.
About food systems. Joining us on set, also on online on our on telephone, is Samson Tanui, all the way from Eldoret. Thank you so much, Samson, for making time to be with us today. How is Eldoret? Is it raining? Is it sunny? How is the weather there?
Okay, weather in Eldoret is a bit tricky this time around. It is not gloomy. We might expect some rain today, but it has not been good at all. Yeah.
We are having we are having a challenge of food prices. 2 kgs of unga is now going at 200. How much is it at Eldoret?
Eldoret is 170.
Ah, you guys are okay. I think we'll move to Eldoret.
No, the kind of ordinary things we are talking about almost every day is about the food factor. You come to Eldoret, it's
Uh-huh. So today we are talking about food systems. Probably tell us, in your opinion, what do farmers need to know, or what do farmers need to do in order for us to have a healthy food system that is nutritious and does not have a negative impact on the environment?
okay. Pertaining to this food system,
Hello? Hello? Yeah, your network is not okay. You need to move somewhere where there's some good connection. Hello? Yeah, that is Samson, all the way from Eldoret. You know, Eldoret is a hilly, and it has some terrain, so sometimes they have a challenge with network. I almost told him panda jamti kitafuta network. But coming back to you, Winfred, let's talk a bit about now, how do we improve our food systems?
Improving our food system, there are various ways that we can improve our food systems. The first thing that I can say, or a tip that I can say that we need, or now we need to improve our food system, is to make sure that farm inputs are affordable to the farmers, because that is one of the key material for the production process. Yes, and that is where maybe our county governments and our national governments come in with the incentives for fertilizers. Yes.
And talking about the kinds of agriculture that we practice, and there's been some debate about regenerative agriculture.
Yes.
What's your take about regenerative agriculture? Because most people are now going that way.
Yes. I've also had the conversation of regenerative agriculture. I can say regenerative agriculture is it's beyond organic farming, because when we look at organic farming has to be a closed system whereby there are no external inputs that affect the cycle. But when it comes to regenerative agriculture, yes, it's part of organic, and
It's a food system that is healthy, nutritious, and does not have a negative impact on our environment.
yes, it's okay. We are talking on it. So what we are looking here is about our health. And when it comes to our health, we first ask ourselves, what kind of food are we eating? If we want health, definitely we want a food, the crops also need a healthy food. Where do they get from? They get them from the soil, which means we need to take care of our soil. that everything they get is also nutritious.
I've taken a look at your farm, and you're farming various kinds of products. You have fruits, you have beans, you have horticulture. Tell us the kind of farming that you practice.
Okay, my practice farming is a permaculture unit. We ensure that we have all this, we incorporate from plants, crops, and animals. So that what we are doing, basically we are focusing on organic farming. So we are basically on the whereby we must ensure that we use all we are doing kind of the waste management, that this can serve the other way down. For example, we are getting the manure where we take them to the farm. From the farm now we get our food produce. And from our food produce, we have two things there. We have this kind of cut and carry, where we cut and carry to animals, we cut and carry for us for consumption. We also have this kind of cut and drop for multi-purposes. We cut some, maybe some plants and crops, so that we must ensure that our soil are always fertile. We ensure that we have the humans.
Very interesting, because when you talk about that, there's a time I was in Gishu, and I know the soils there are acidic. How are you probably working on your soil for you to achieve the maximum productivity that you're getting on your farm?
Okay, what we consider is that we ensure that we are focused much on biomass, so that we increase all the intake, the food, the organism to work. So we are trying to ensure that we incorporate all the organisms, especially when it comes to soil. We have our worms; those are the earthworms. We have those beneficial insects we can work on, and they not work on there. It's like, okay, the soil, assuming you are slated, maybe you cut by something, and then you just put somewhere. You put your food where you are here to the sun. How do you look like? So likewise our soils are crying that, okay, they are exposed. There is no survival of this kind of creature. So what we ensure we are trying to do is there is a life in that soil. Definitely where there is a life, all kind of organism will just survive. So our focus is that we make sure that everything is surviving, so that we grow good and the right food for crops.
Very interesting there. I'm in studio. I'm also with one of our agribusiness value chains expert, and I think she has a question regarding sustainable food systems.
Yes, Samson, my name is Winfred. Yes, Samson, my name is Winfred from Afarmers Media, and I am particularly interested in your farming system, which is I've heard you mention that you do organic farming, right? Yes. So my question is just my question is particularly in that system of farming whereby you practice organic farming. Do you think do you think that you incur any losses in the whole production process? I have heard you mention that you use manure, you use livestock manure, you send it to the farm, and then from there you grow your plants, and from the plants, that is where you harvest your produce and you send to the market, right? Yes. So do you think there is any gap in the organic farming that you're practicing? Yes. Do you think there is any gap in the system of farming that you're doing, the organic farming?
I'm not getting in the network is a little bit tricky.
Yes. Okay. Yes. My question is, do you see any gap in the organic farming that you are practicing, that you think that more information is needed out there for the farmers to get to know it?
Yeah, okay, what we are trying to emphasize, because
Yes.
permaculture unit always believe in practical part of it,
Yes.
and we are very much emphasizing on practical part of it. So what we are doing organic farming, let's start with small one before you move to a big one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that is good to hear. Okay.
So, Samson, as we continue with this conversation, we've looked at some of the stories that are making headlines, and there's an invasion on the African armyworm, and I hear this part of it has invaded Uasin Gishu. Have you been affected by the African armyworm?
No, for this one, they are, everyone have belonged to the maybe on my. So, but for me, my university, I don't experience such thing. So, this mainly is about the monoculture mode of farming. It's not good at all for monoculture, especially for maize. So, what we should also try to emphasize on this is that we do all the maize farming of it. So that it's not we call it mosaic farming. We ensure that we do it mosaically, that we have everything. That even that all the like you want it won't affect any other baby, but directly it's very good.
Yeah, your network is not really clear. We'll have to end our conversation there today. We'll be getting in touch more with Samson Tanui in our consequent shows to find out more about the kind of agriculture that he practices. He's one of the trainers that he trains a lot of young people on agriculture. Your thoughts as we come to a conclusion in today's interview. What's your take? What should people look out for in these coming days with regards to your kind of farming? Hello? Yeah, I think we lost Samson there. The network is a bit not clear, but we'll be getting in touch with him in in most of our shows to get more insights about sustainable food systems, and to talk more about smallholder farming and what farmers need to know, because here at Afarmers, this is where we train farmers, and you get the knowledge, the credible information regarding the various agricultural systems that are out there for you to practice and get the produce that you deserve to get, not to get just a little. Like right now we are having shortage in maize. Like, where did farmers go wrong?
The challenges that farmers face is in terms of the production process, so that makes them not contribute to maybe the amount of maize that Kenya consumes, so we have to export.
And who is to blame for all this? Because there's a debate that I saw. There's someone who posted on Facebook, and they were saying, as much as we are blaming the government on all these crises, even farmers are to blame. In your own opinion, who is to blame for all this?
I can say that every person or every stakeholder has a part to play. So we cannot shift the blame. We have to make sure that each stakeholder in the process in the process chain, they have played their role for us to see the good results. Yes.
And that's said and done. This is where we put a stop to today's edition of the Evening Farm Drive. Keep watching. More posts will be coming through. I talked about the webinar that will be coming on Friday. We'll be having our first webinar here at Afarmers, talking about solutions as to why we are having this food crisis. We have a huge lineup of panelists who will be giving us insights and a big debate. So keep watching Afarmers Media. We'll be taking this whole conversation back to you on Facebook. Let's keep the interaction going and keep those posts coming. Ask any questions that you have, and our experts will be giving you the answers. I've been your host, Jackie Moore, and you?
Winfred Muteti.
See you tomorrow. 3 to 5 p.m. is the place to be. Bye for now.
Thank you.